In a dementia unit, it's often difficult to tell who the dementia residents are and who the relatives are, and the difference between the two. And because of this, dementia residents can be let out, which creates enormous problems. So it's important that that doesn't happen to you. Now, staff, the charge nurse, the clinical manager, they'll be at the front desk on the lookout as much as possible for potential escapees. But they're often busy up the corridor doing medications and things, so they're not always at the front desk. So with it being unmanned at that time, it's easier for a dementia resident to escape. Now, the problem is that sometimes, dementia residents, how do I say this, are in a better state than relatives. They're well-dressed, well-groomed, coiffured, and sometimes relatives aren't. And so there is a confusion from other relatives letting the dementia resident out because they look, so well presented. So how to go about finding out who the relatives are and who the residents are and who are the likely ones to escape. The best thing, again, is sitting and observing. That's the best way, really, actually, to learn so many things in the dementia unit. Sitting and observing is really the best way, but especially for security. Sit so that you can see the door. Now, the entry door is also the exit door, which will be at the nurse's station. So sit near there, observe, and see which dementia residents are milling around the door. They will be the ones that are likely to want to escape, especially if they're fiddling at the code, banging at the door. They're the ones that want to get out. And of course, if they're calling out, get me out, I want to get home, I'll going to ring the police, whatever. I mean, they're desperate, of course, those poor residents, often the ones that have just been admitted. It's very hard. Now, the dementia residents most at risk of escaping, though, are those that are very stealthy and experienced. And I've witnessed this a number of times. There was one dementia resident, she was really clever. She'd stand at the door, very quiet, poised. She was very well coiffed, beautiful hairdo, makeup, lovely outfit. She totally looked the part. Like, she did not look like a dementia resident. Very tall, good stature, independent walking. And she'd just stand there quietly by the door, not saying anything. So that when the relative left, she'd just quietly slip in behind, because the doors are very heavy and it takes, a couple of seconds for them to close. And so she'd just whip out. And where I was working, there was a lift as well that had to be negotiated. Again, another code for that. So she managed somehow to get down the lift. She did this on 3 occasions. Once or twice following staff out, the other time following a relative out. So clever. And you just really don't know that someone's behind you when you're walking down the stairs or down in the lift. You notice that someone's there, but she actually escaped on one occasion going down the stairs after a staff member, and the staff member didn't see her all the way down the stairs and then out the door at the base near the nursing home where there was no security. And she went out and was found at the shopping centre nearby by police. So that's why it is important, really, to know who is likely to escape and who isn't. And then, of course, once you get to know the staff, once you get to know the regular visiting relatives, word of mouth, you get to know all the ins and outs of the unit and the potential problems and how to alleviate that once you're in the know. Now, in terms of the code, there's a code that you'll need to know, 4 digits and a hash often. So make sure to note that carefully in your iPhone or in the treasured notebook in your handbag, so you've got that at hand. So when you come into the unit, that's fine, but on exiting the unit, you'll need the code, and going down the lift, the same code generally. So all of this needs to be in place, and in time you'll become relaxed with the system, but it's better to know it in advance. So it's all written up in the resident's voice and the resident's rise, both on Amazon, everything in the description below. Thank you for your looks, views and likes. And for those of you that have read the books, please make comment in either YouTube and TikTok, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you want to ask me from the books that you've read or the videos. Thank you.